Have you ever noticed how many artists use letters in their artwork? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with your piece of paper and we're going to use your name to make your artwork. This piece of art is about you. So I'm going to do my son Cooper's name. I'm going to do a nice big letter C. I'm going to go over the letter at least 3 times. So that's 1, 2, 3. I want nice dark lines with a lot of crayon. The next letter in Cooper's name is O. And what I'm going to do as I draw these letters and write my letters is I'm not going to think about writing a name. I'm going to think about making a piece of art. So I'm going to have the letters touch. So I'm going to make a big O that's connected to the C, and I'm going to go over it 3 times, and I'm pressing pretty hard. Now you can also turn the paper as you go, because we're not just signing our name, we're going to turn the paper and fill the paper with the letters that are in our name. I'm going to make another O for Cooper. 1, 2, 3. Next, I'm going to add the letter P. There's Coop. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. And I'm going to turn and see, how do I want to put the letter E? I think I'm going to go up here. One of the nice things when you make art with letters, you're going to see all the shapes and lines that we talk about. Curved lines, vertical lines, horizontal lines. Now let's see, his name is Cooper with an R on the end. So how do I want to do my R? I think I'm going to keep my paper this way and make my vertical, my curve, 1, 2, 3, and last but not least, a diagonal. I'm going to go right to the edge of the paper. So you can see his name, but it's kind of becoming almost like a riddle. The letters connect and you kind of lose the name and it becomes more of a design. If I have some places where there's a lot of open space, I could write his name again and just do a little smaller. And notice how I'm letting the letters connect again. And maybe I'll turn it this way. I've got a nice space here. C, O, O, P, E. Remember, I'm going to try and go over them so there's a lot of wax from the crayon. And R. Now all my letters are touching and I'm getting some interesting shapes happening here. Just because I like to record when I make a piece of artwork, I think I'll also add the year. So I'm going to do 2022 over here. There we go. The next step is adding the color. So I have my watercolors. At school we have our tempera cakes, and again they're going to be dry to add the water, and we're going to make sure that we rinse our brush frequently so we have nice bright colors. Look at how nice and clean my colors are. My yellow is nice and clean. I'm going to get some water, wet my paint. And I'm actually going to start with yellow. I always like to start with yellow because it gets dirty really easily. So if I start, it'll be nice and clean. And I'm going to use those shapes of the letters that we wrote, and I'm going to use those as the shapes to fill in my color. So I'm going to look for the spaces like here and here, all these shapes. And I'm going to pick what I want to be yellow first. And again, my crayon makes a nice kind of fence because that waxy crayon holds in the water of my watercolors. There, I think that's enough yellow. So now I'm going to rinse my brush so it's nice and clean. And I'm going to make sure I use all the colors in the rainbow. So I'm going to use orange next. Find some shapes that I'd like to fill in with orange. I'm done with orange, so I'm going to rinse my brush. I think that I will do red next. Nice bright red. See if my cats will behave. I can hear them getting a little rowdy. Let's see, that's not very much red. Maybe I'll put some red up here. Now, just because it's not closed in, that doesn't mean I can't fill that shape in. So I'm gonna go like this, put some red here inside my letter C. And I think I'll do that to balance on this letter C as well. We'll do all the letter C's. Now if it's too light, and go back and get a little bit more color. And because I use the waxy crayon, you can still see the crayon even if I go over it with the paint. All right, let's see. Next, I think I'll do some blue. So I'm rinsing my brush. I'm gonna find some areas that I'd like to color in blue. I'm gonna wet the paper sometimes and then go back in with my water. I'll do this area, so some more paint. Rinse my brush. I'm not going to use the brown or the black. I'm going to try and make it really colorful. So I'm using all the rainbow colors that are right here. Roy G. Biv. That's going to be my violet or purple. That's a nice bright color. So I'm going to have some places here. I'm going to try and fill the whole background so that there's no white of my paper left. And if that's too much purple, I can rinse my brush and maybe go back and pick up some blue, let those blend a little bit. And I haven't done any green yet, and I think most of you know that green is my favorite color. So I'm going to balance off some purple over here. Yeah, how that nice 2022 pops right through because I did a nice layer of crayon. See, got some big areas here, and I know I'm going to be using green, so maybe I'll put a little purple in here. And then I think I'll be ready for some green. I think that these aren't too big. I think this will be a good amount. So I'm going to rinse my brush. Some green. I really should ask Cooper what his favorite color is since I did his name. So now we looked at all that artwork earlier in the video where artists were using letters in their artwork. So this one is turning into a really nice, colorful, a little bit abstract painting based on the letters of Cooper's name.